answer these questions for me? Who can tell me what is our common difference, D? What is our common difference? You can pop your answer in the chat for me, please. What is our common difference? Oh, Mirila, you missed it by one. Akwando, you missed it by one. Good. Aspongenyeleti Cassidy, not just 6. Remember, 11 minus 17 and 5 minus 11 is going to give us -6. Our common difference is -6. Okay, now to solve for this, I'm going to use this equation over here, right, to find the general formula. So I'm going to then say Tn is equal to A, and A stands for my first term. So T1 is 17. So I'm going to go A is equal to, Tn is equal to 17 plus, open brackets, n minus 1, close brackets, multiplied by -6. Now my next move is to distribute. Okay, then 17 is then going to be 17, that T is so ugly. Tn is equal to 17, -6 times n is -6n, and -1 times -6 will give us +6. Okay, then I'm just going to add like terms. Tn is equal to -6n, and 17 plus 6 will give us +23. What kind of common difference, or what kind of, I don't know, what kind of progression are we looking for? A common what? It's not going to be common difference. It's going to be common what? What progression are we looking for? A common something. Who knows? A common what? Anybody who knows? It's not going to be exponents, not going to be difference. Difference is for arithmetic. Common, yes, that's it, Kellen. Beautiful. It's a common ratio. Well done, Cassidy. Good. It's a common ratio. Now, remember, guys, ratios can be written as one number over another. So when we talk about common ratios, we're going to be looking at writing one number over another, which must equal another number over another. We must get the same common ratio again and again and again. So let's start here. Here's our first example. Okay. Our common, no, I can't start with the example. I must start with the general formula. Yes, sorry. Okay. So we are going to start with our general formula. This is the general formula for a geometric sequence every single time, guys. This is the general term that we're going to get. This general term over here. Okay, Tn is equal to A multiplied, that little dot over there is multiply. So when you're going to put it into your calculator, you're going to put in there a big times, okay, on your calculator. Don't use the comma or the dot. You're going to put in a times R, which is our common ratio, to the power of n minus 1. That is the general term. And how do we find the common ratio? We're going to take T3, our third term, divided by our second term, and that must equal our second term divided by our first term. So basically what we're doing to get from one number to the next is we're going to multiply. We're going to see what it is that we have to multiply by to get from one term to the next. Okay, I just want to read this quickly, but I'm going to quickly give it a rest. I want to see if you guys can do this. Hello, Pinzon, no worries. Okay, I want you guys, in this particular example I've given you over here, I want you guys to find me the common ratio R, and I want you guys to also find me the general term Tn. When you are done, I'm going to ask you to pop your favorite emoji in the chat. I just want to check what's going on with Akwando. I hope everything's okay. Ooh. Oh, okay. All right. Akwando, just tell me, do you mind if I share the story with everyone? Do you mind? because I think it's important that everybody hears this. Okay, so this is what Akwando says. Ma'am, I have a problem. So there was an incident a few weeks back where people used a physics past paper provided by their tutors to study for a test, and it ended up being the actual test. Anyway, our teachers told us that it will be an irregularity to use formulas that aren't taught by them, ? Now, okay, let's talk about this. I have two problems with this, and I have absolutely no problem with you looking your teachers in the face and telling them this. Mulisa, you can't tell your teachers what I said, but Akwando, let's think about this. If these particular kids who met this tutor, if they met this tutor, who met this tutor and got this paper, if they hadn't met the tutor, but somehow got their hands on that exact same paper, who were your teachers going to blame for the fact that they get 100% on this physics test? Who are they going to blame? Because if we're being completely honest, if let's say, for instance, Akwando, those kids who found the paper didn't have a tutor, were they going to blame the kids for finding the test? They can't blame the students. Okay, so this shows me two things, right? And I mean it with the best of intentions. Number one, I think your teachers learned a very important lesson about copy pasting things, especially in 2023, where everybody has a computer and an internet connection, right? Number two, it is not your responsibility to cater to your teacher's needs. Maths is maths universally, and if I teach you this formula and it is a recognized mathematical formula, they technically can't stop you from using it. It's an actual formula that is recognized in the mathematics community because it's an actual general rule, right? So what I would say you need to do is you need to ask mom or dad to write a very cleverly worded email to your teacher explaining that you can't do without your tutor. Because basically what they're saying is, don't go to Watobe anymore, listen to us. That's what they're actually saying. They're saying, no, don't go to your tutor, listen to us. But if you don't understand them, you must go to a tutor. So they're basically blocking you from getting help from anyone else out of fear that you're going to catch them out while they copy paste things. That doesn't sound very fair to me. Doesn't sound fair. Okay, so I think mom and dad would, parents need to start sending emails about how that doesn't make logical sense. Do you understand what I mean? Because I would be the first one to be like, dear Mrs. Mazibuko, hey, my child is going to go to a tutor, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. P.S. also, my child really loves Watobe and they're not going to quit Watobe just because you don't want us to give your child the paper. So no, we're not going to do that. So speak to mom or dad, ask them to write a cleverly worded email. It's not your job to do the job of your teachers. Their job is to set a paper. It needs to be an original paper. And if they don't have the time to set an original paper, well, they must be okay with that chance. Yes, Moekezi, that actually happened. Okay, they must be okay with the off chance that one of you guys has already downloaded the paper and already done it. It is what it is. Okay, all right. Let's get into this. Okay, who can tell me what is my common ratio over here? Remember common ratio? T3 over T2 is equal to T2 over T1. So I'm going to take my T3, which is 24. 24 over 12 is equal to 12 over 6. Therefore, my common ratio is going to be 2. So let's put this into the formula that we have over here. I'm then going to find a general formula. Tn is equal to 6 times 2 to the power of n minus 1. Quick question. Am I allowed to take 6 multiplied by 2 and say that my general term is 12 to the power of n minus 1? Yes or no? Yes or no? No, we cannot, because this number over here isn't actually 2. It's not 2. It's 2 to the power of something. So we can't decide that we're going to take the two numbers, add them together. No, that doesn't work. Okay, it's not going to work. So we cannot do that at all. We keep these two things separate, just like that. And that's the answer that we're going to get. Okay, all right. Give me a thumbs up if we're all okay with how to put together the equation of a geometric pattern, the general term of a geometric pattern. Can we get into some of these examples? Beautiful. All right. Here's our first example. Okay, Samuel, I'm going to use the example. Okay, I want you guys to look here. It says write down the next term in the pattern. Okay, but before we do this one, instead of doing number 1 first, let's do number 2, because number 2 is going to allow us to do number 1. Okay. Okay, Samuel, are you okay? Should I help you? Do you want to do this question with me, maybe? We can do it together in the chat when everybody's ready. Okay, sorry, guys. It's 4,5. Sorry, so that's 2, and then 3, and then 4.5, and then 6.75. Okay, sorry, it's not very clear. I know. I'm sorry for that. Here we go, Meketsi. Akwando, I feel like the story you just told me about your teachers made me even more hungry and angry now. I'm like, just thinking about it made my stomach just. And now I'm mad at your teachers. I'm even more mad at your teachers. I am. I'm very hangry. Agreed. And now the only person I can take it out on is Akwando's teacher. It's fine. It's fine. Yes, Pascal, it will. It will work even if you use T4 over T3 is equal to T3 over T2. 100% it will work. Okay. Sure, Lwandile, well done. Correct. That is the correct answer. Hello, close bracket. Close bracket is done. Lwandile is done. I'm just going to wait for everybody else to catch up. Nice emoji, Akwando. That's okay. I get the idea, Akwando. Well done. And I'm saying Akwando, Lwandile, well done. All right, 1 more minute, guys. All right, peeps, let's look at the answer that we're going to get over here. All right, what did everybody get for their common ratio? Let's look at the common ratio. The common ratio R is going to equal 4,5 over 3 is equal to 3 over 2. We can either leave it as 3 over 2 or you can write it as 1,5. I'm going to write it as 1,5 for now, but I feel like we're going to change it back when we do one of these other questions. All right, so okay, let's just write the general term. Teacher knows you're the worst. Okay, let's write the general term. We're going to go Tn is equal to, now my A is my first term, so 2 times, I'm going to open brackets, 1,5 to the power of n minus 1. That is my general term. Now it says here, find the value of the 10th term. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this number 10 and we're going to replace any n we see with 10. Okay, so we're going to have T10 is equal to 2 multiplied by 1,5 to the power of 10 minus 1. And the question says, round off to 2 decimal places. I want somebody to give me an answer, please. What is T10 equal to? Thank you, Luto, and that is 100% the correct answer. Well done, Offensive Sanagahle. That's it, Asbonge. Well done, Tatum. Good. Our answer here is 76.89. Excellent. Now, in this next question over here, and it's going to take us a while, so I want you guys to stay with me. It says here, determine which term is equal to 10,125. Okay, 10,125. So we're going to take this 10,125 and we're going to replace the whole of Tn. The whole of Tn is going to be replaced with 10,125. So here's what we're going to get. I'm going to start up here, and there's a reason, there's a method to my madness. I'm going to say 10,125 is equal to, my general term is equal to 2 multiplied by 1,5 to the power of n minus 1. Now, if I want to solve for this, if anybody would like to put their hand up and help me solve for this, I'm happy for you to do that. But if not, you guys can interact with me in the chat. I want to solve for n. What is the first thing I'm going to get rid of? No worries, Untatile, welcome. What am I going to do first in order to solve for n, guys? Who's got an idea? Okay, Sandagasha, good. We can't remove the base. We need the same base, but yes, Asbonge, correct, 100%. We're going to start by dividing both sides by 2. I want to get rid of that 2 first. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Now, here's what's going to happen. As soon as you punch 10,125 divided by 2 into your calculator, it's going to give you a fraction. So I want you guys to give me the answer that gives you a fraction. What is the fraction that your calculator gives you? 10,125 divided by 2. What fraction does your calculator give you? Good, 81 over 16, good. 81 over 16. And now this is equal to, now, give me a thumbs up. Are you guys okay with me taking 1,5 and rewriting it as 3 over 2? Are you guys okay with me doing that? Can I do that? You all okay? Okay, good. So I'm going to open big brackets and I'm going to rewrite 1,5 as 3 over 2 to the power of n minus 1. Okay, so I know that because the answer I want, the n I want is in my exponent, I need my bases to look the same. And so many of you have said so. My bases must look the same in order for me to compare exponents. So here's what I'm going to do. I know that my numerator over here is 3. So I want to rewrite 3 as 81 to the power of, 81 as 3 to the power of something. How can I rewrite 81 so that it has 3 as a base? What is that number going to be? What are we going to get? How else can I write 81? 3 to the power of, correct, Mahatsi, well done. Beautiful, yes, that's it, Imelda, good. I know I can rewrite 81 as 3 to the power of 4. So now I'm going to get 3 to the power of 4 over, I know over here that my denominator, let me use purple. I like purple. My denominator over here is 2. So how else can I write 16 so that I have a base of 2? 2 to the power of what is going to give us 16? Correct, Rulani? 2 to the power of 4. So now I've got 3 to the power of 4 over 2 to the power of 4 is equal to 3 over 2 all to the power of n minus 1. Give me a thumbs up if we all agree that those two numbers on this side both have 4 as a common exponent. Yes? You with me? Excellent. So I'm going to take the common exponent out. I'm going to rewrite this as 3 over 2 all to the power of 4 is equal to 3 over 2 all to the power of n minus 1. What do I notice now? What do I have? What do I have? I've got what? Same base. Yes, that's it, Hulani. I've got the same base. And as soon as I have the same base, I can then drop my my bases. Okay. Yes, Jasmine.
Good question. What is the term? It's n with the th. Could you quickly explain what it is, please?
Okay, this is the nth term is basically tn. It's this. This is the nth term. So remember, Jasmine, if we're looking for the first term, right? We replace n with 1. So I'm going to have t1. And if I'm looking for the second term, I'm going to replace n with 2, t2. If I'm looking for the 10th term, I'm going to write t10. If I'm looking for the 16th term, I'm going to write T16. So if they ask us for the nth term, they are asking for Tn. That's what they're asking for. Am I making sense?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome, my sweetie. Well done. Good question, by the way. Most kids don't actually know what that means. I feel like you've cleared up a good question for most kids. Well done. All right, good. So now we know, because we've got 3/2 and 3/2, we're going to drop our bases, and then we're going to equate our exponents. So now I have 4 is equal to n minus 1. Solve for n for me, please, guys. What is my n equal to? Therefore, n is equal to, take the -1 over to the other side, it's going to become +1. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Give me thumbs up if we're all okay with the process that ma'am just went through. It's okay even if you put a thumbs down. This was a really, it's a pretty tough question. Okay, all right, let's try this next one over here. Okay, take it away, guys. Okay, it says, show this is a geometric pattern. The way we're going to show that this is a geometric pattern is by finding the common ratio. Find R. And Asi, if I've lost you, my sweetie, hand up and let's talk about it. Okay. Sure, I feel like I'm running a fever. Okay. All right, Asi, let's take it a step at a time, both you and me. Okay. Hi, Asi.
Hi, ma'am.
How are you doing, my sweetie?
I'm good, and you?
Excellent, my sweetie. Okay, can you help me find the common ratio, please? Remember the formula for common ratio? T3 over T2 is equal to T2 over T1. Let's substitute. Substitute for me. Common ratio is equal to?
-2. So like -2.
Not -2? Oh, are you saying the ratio is going to be -2?
Yeah, because like I said T3 over T2. Yeah, so like I said -20 over 10, which then gives me -2.
Good. Good. And 10 over -5, both of them are going to give us R is equal to -2. Well done. Okay, let's look for the general term. Can you give me the general term? Tn is going to equal to?
Tn is going to equal to A times R n to the power of n minus 1.
Good. So what is Tn? Tn is?
Tn is equal to -5 times -2 to the power of n minus 1.
-1. Excellent. Beautiful. Now, let's determine the 12th term. What are we going to get? Tell me.
Oh, you want me like to okay. Okay, so like Ishma. Okay, so you're gonna say 12 is equal to
Not 12. Remember, this is the 12th term. So this means that my n is equal to 12.
12. Oh,
Okay,
T12 is equal to
correct. That's it. 12.
So like, ma'am, I've got a question.
Con-
Like when I'm calculating this in
Yes.
the exam, I like say T12 is equal to A times R to the power of n minus 1 and then substitute.
There's no need. There's no need because in the question before, they've already told you to find the general form. So now what you're doing is you're just using it. Okay, so there's no need for you to do that again. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So
Right,
you're
so
gonna
this
say
is all going to be to the power 12 minus 1. Good. Give me an answer. Pop that into your calculator. Give me an answer.
Okay, ma'am. I got 10,240.
100% correct. 10,240. Well done. That's it. 100%. Okay, let's do number 4 because I feel like that's where I may have lost you before. Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So if we look at this, they're saying to us is the number 1280 in the pattern. Now, they're not asking for the 12th term. They're asking for us to check if 1280 is in the pattern. So what is 1280 in our general formula? What are we going to put that as? It's not going to be n, it's going to be.
So I'm going to say 1240 is equal to -5.
Correct. 1280 is equal to -5.
Open bracket,
Times.
-2. Oh,
Good.
yeah, a close bracket to the power of 12 minus, no, not 12, n minus 1.
Because we're solving for n minus 1. Good. Okay, good. What's my next step? My first step would be?
So I'm going to take -5 over the equal sign, or like,
How? It's multiplied to that -2 to the power of n minus 1. How am I going to get rid of it?
aren't you going to be dividing by -5? Oh,
Good.
yeah.
You must divide both sides. Yes, good. -5. Okay, punch it into your calculator for me. 1280 divided by -5.
That's going to give me a -256.
Good. -256 is now equal to -2 to the power of n minus 1. Now, do you agree with me, Asi? If both sides of my equation are negative, I can just drop the negatives, right? It's like if I have -x is equal to -2, that just means that x is equal to 2. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
So if both of these sides have negatives, I'm just going to drop the negatives. Do you understand what I mean? I'm going to take this negative away and that negative away. So I'm going to end up with 256 is equal to 2 to the power of n minus 1. We good?
Yes, ma'am. So like we're going to say 256 divided.
No, we can't divide by 2
then,
because this isn't 2 to the power of n minus 1. But what I do know is I need 256 to have a base of 2. So I need to figure out how I can write 256 as 2 to the power of something. Okay. If you don't know how to do that, my sweetie, I'm going to ask you, do you have this Casio calculator? Do you have the same Casio calculator that I have?
yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, you're going to go on your calculator and you're going to click 256 equals. Click 256 equals. And then you're going to click shift.
Yes, ma'am.
And look for a button with like a lot of commas. On top of that button, there's a fact. There's fact in orange. So you're going to click that button, shift fact. Tell me what your calculator says. So here's the steps. You're going to go 256, click equals, and then click the shift button, and then look for a number, a button that has the word fact above it. What does your calculator say?
2 to the power of 8.
Good. 2 to the power of 8 is now equal to 2 to the power of n minus 1. Now that my bases are the same, what are we going to do with that? What do we do?
Oh, so like you're going to cancel 2 and 2, and then you're going to say 8 is equal to n minus 1.
That's it. N minus 1, therefore n is equal to?
So 8 is equal to 9.
Beautifully done. Mwah. Look at that. You just did that whole sum for all of us. Well done. Amazing work. Do you see what ma'am has done here?
Yes, ma'am. Like I see it now. Thank you so much.
Well done, my sweetie. I'm just saying the example I did before was a little bit more difficult because we were using fractions. But this one, nice and simple. Well done, Asi. Beautiful work.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, my sweetie. That was, guys, I mean, she ate, she left no crumbs. Beautifully done. Okay, let's look at this next one over here. Okay, it says here, determine which term in the sequence is that 4, 12, 36, 108 is 8,748. So we know that in order to find this, this is our TN, guys. This is what we need to substitute TN into. What do we need to find in order to substitute that number into TN? There are two things that we need to find. What are those things? What are those two things? I will show you now, Asbonge. Okay, take a screenshot, Asi. Good, Machatzi. One of those things is the general rule. What else do we need? Correct, Sandakate. Ah, beautiful, good. We need the common ratio. We need the common ratio, and we also need our general rule, Tn. Okay, now that is your guys' job. Here is your sequence. Find me the common ratio and the general rule Tn. Pop your favorite emoji in the chat. I'm just going to quickly answer Asbonge's question. Asbonge, if I have negative x is equal to -4, how can I get rid of both negatives on each side? I can just divide both sides by -1. I can just go -1, divide by -1, and that will cancel. Therefore, x is equal to +4. Now, instead of going through that whole process of dividing by -1 and dividing by -1, I already know that if I just drop both negatives, I'm going to get the same answer. So that means that x is equal to 4. Okay. Let me know if that makes sense. Okay, excellent, good stuff. I'm going to give you guys 2 more minutes and then we're going to start. We're going to talk about this. Sandakate, remember to give us your favorite emoji, not the answer. Don't give people the answer. Don't give the answer away. You must put your favorite emoji so people can keep trying the question. Beautiful. I think we have enough emojis. That's okay, Sandakate. It's fine. It's not a big deal. The trick is, do they know how you got your answer? That's the trick. Ah, beautiful, Samuel. I'm happy to hear that. Okay, excellent. All right, let's get into this answer over here. Now, remember, guys, my common ratio, T3 over T2 is equal to T2 over T1. I'm going to go straight into it. 36 divided by 12 is equal to 12 divided by 4. Thank you, Offensive. Therefore, our R is equal to 4. Thank you so much. Okay, so Tn is going to be 4 multiplied by 4 to the power of n minus 1. Okay, right. Now they want to know determine if the sequence is equal to 8748. So we're going to replace Tn with 8748. We're going to get 8748 is equal to 4 times. Sorry guys. I said 3, but I wrote 4. Make this make sense. What is wrong with me? Sorry guys, it's 3. Sorry. See, I was testing you guys and you guys passed. You passed. Well done. I was testing y'all and you guys, top marks. Hi, when I close like a Baba, what Baba last when it's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. Okay, multiplied by 3 to the power of n minus 1. My first step is going to be to divide both sides by 4. Divide by 4. Right. Now, if I take 8748 and I divide it by 4, I'm going to get 2187. So I'm going to get 2187 is equal to 3 to the power of n minus 1. Now, I know that I need 2187 to be written as 3 to the power of something. So I need to 2187 equals shift fact, and my calculator tells me that 2187 is written as 3 to the power of 7. Well done, Asi. Okay, which is equal to 3 to the power of n minus 1. And as soon as my bases look the same, I can drop them. And now I've got 7 is equal to n minus 1. 7 is equal to n minus 1. Therefore, n is equal to 8. Give me your favorite emoji, your celebratory emoji if you got that 100% on lock. Tell me how we did. Not Imelda just graduating from grade 10 because she's like, I got this. In the bag, baby. In the bag. Yes. Well done, peeps. Amazing stuff. Amazing. All right. Teacher Nels, I think we're going to call it here. Okay. This is just us looking for the general term, and we know so well. Yes, Offense, I agree. Okay, this question over here just says, determine the general term for the following sequences. So it's just you guys finding Tn over and over and over. And I know you guys know how to do that. Okay, we all know how to do that. But I second and I third what Offense has said. If tonight's quiz looks anything like this example that we just did, next week, Wednesday's quiz list, the list of top achievers should be this long. It should be like long, because all of y'all are just gonna Well done, guys. Okay, we're gonna drop that link one more time, and then guys, when I tell you guys that I'm not going to walk to the kitchen, I'm going to run. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Oh, I see. I'm sorry, my sweetie. Do you want to take a screenshot and just look at it quickly, and then you can maybe put your hand up and tell me if there's any part of it that you don't understand. Have a look at it, take a screenshot, and then tell me if you follow what ma'am has done, and then you can tell me if it makes sense. Oh, Moeketsi, I love it. That is the whole idea that I just want you to be just like, you know what, I got this in the bag. Kellen,